What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some Go Battle battles in the Hisui Cup. I think I pronounced that correctly, but this cup format is in the Great League and kind of an interesting meta, very similar to the Sinnoh Cup, but with a couple of extra Pokemon thrown in. And in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a team running Gastrodon, Munchlax, and actually Shadow Drapion, but normal Drapion works fine as well. You'll see that I am running Water Pulse on my Gastrodon, and this is so I can hit for neutral damage against Drifblim, as well as hit for super effective damage against Gliscor. And I'm also running Aqua Tail on my Shadow Drapion for the mirror match and to hit super effective against Gastrodon. So let's jump right into these battles here. Gastrodon is a really solid core breaker against a lot of the fighters and like the rock and steel types that we see in this format, and the poison types as well. So we actually have a Gastrodon mirror match here. Now my Gastrodon is pretty highly ranked for PvP IV, so I anticipate losing the CMP tie pretty much every single time. They bring in a Licky, so I'm wondering if their team comp is going to be pretty similar to mine, where you have Gastrodon in the lead, and then a Licker on the safe swap, and then potentially something that's going to be weak to Gastrodon in the back. And that might be what my opponent is anticipating. I don't have a hard counter to any of the Lick users, and you might be thinking, well, you can bring in Drapion because it resists the Lick damage. Drapion actually loses the Zero Shield against a lot of these Lick users because Body Slam is such a solid move and you get to it so quickly, and they're all very, very bulky. So I don't have an immediate hard counter to these normal safe swaps, so I want to overfarm a little bit with my Munchlax, and then I will throw this Body Slam. Down goes the Licky. Munchlax is slightly bulkier than Licky if I remember correctly, but Bulldoze is a terrible move. Earthquake is a much better move, so if you don't have a Munchlax, you definitely could consider using Licky. I do end up shielding my Munchlax just because I need to guarantee that I get rid of this Gastrodon, and in the back is a Drapion, so pretty much an identical team to the one that I was running here. And I put this team together. I'm not sure if any other content creators have featured this type of team, but it is a fairly common idea, but it's pretty funny. The first game that I ran this team, I ran into pretty much an identical mirror match. However, my opponent does not have Aqua Tail, so this is hurting them a little bit in this matchup because I'm able to get to these Aqua Tails quicker. I'm now at back-to-back Aqua Tails here. And my Shadow Drapion is also decently PvP ranked as well, so I actually end up losing some of the CMP ties in this video. I swapped to my Munchlax to potentially catch a move here, but I'm able to get to this Body Slam anyways. Munchlax is so bulky, and we're able to win that game there. Good game. Gastrodon into Drifblim. This is the worst possible lead you could see other than a Razor Leafer, and this is a very hard punish to the Munchlax. However, you do win the Zero Shield because Munchlax will be able to get to this Bulldoze. The unfortunate thing is that the Lucario only has to shield once, and then they farm you all the way down, and they're ramped up. So there is a case to be made here. You could save the shield for the Drapion. Gastrodon is pretty bulky, so even a boosted Shadow Ball you would be able to survive, but I end up shielding this. I know I'm going to be stuck in a bad matchup anyways, but hopefully Drapion has some play in the back. And in this scenario, if I would have potentially saved both shields for my Drapion here, would have had some more play. Because I got the defense fell right there, I am thinking that potentially Aqua Tail might be enough to knock out this Empoleon here. I have to be very careful about when to throw my charge moves here to not let an extra waterfall go through. So I throw the Aqua Tail here, and it is just enough to knock out the Empoleon, but I am not healthy enough to reach a crunch, and I don't think my switch clock was up either to catch a move. So even though I have Water Pulse to hit for neutral damage, this is not going to be enough. Let's see how much this Water Pulse does. Potentially if I would have thrown Aqua Tail, it would have been very close. But Aqua Tail definitely doesn't do that amount of health. So we almost came back from that really tough team composition there. Good game. Toxicroak in the lead, pretty favorable here. We definitely want to maintain switch advantage here. But in comes a Munchlax. And once again, I don't have a hard counter to this. And I go into my Drapion very late. So I'm heavily down energy here. But I just don't want my Drapion against the Toxicroak. I let this move go through. And ideally, I could even lose switch advantage here, which happens. And I'm going to bring out my Munchlax and farm up a lot of energy. That way, if they do end up bringing in their Toxicroak again, these body slams and even a bulldoze will be potentially threatening to the Toxicroak. And I'm hoping that Gastrodon might have play against something in the back. They bring in a barrel, and so they now have revealed their entire team, and I know what my win condition is. Gastrodon is essentially just going to mud slap down everything here. They do have a very healthy Toxicroak that I need to deal with, though. I'm going to be able to get to another body slam. Munchlax can tank this, no problem. But then I do need to get out of here so I don't get water gunned down, because my licks are pretty much doing no damage to this barrel. I'm going to bring out the Gastrodon, and I will throw this body slam here just because I don't want to have to shield a surf from the barrel. Now they still have Munchlax, and it has some energy loaded. Out comes the Toxicroak. I'm going to throw this body slam. I'm getting a little worried here. If the Toxicroak can get to 2 Mud Bombs, I'm getting a little worried. So they throw 1 Mud Bomb, they swap in the Munchlax to burn my second shield. And I'm thinking, if this Toxicroak has a Mud Bomb stored, then I lose this game, because I definitely lose CMP. But I'm able to get to this body slam here. And the Toxicroak did not have a Mud Bomb. Down it goes, and we're able to take this game there. Good game. Gastrodon into Hisui Electrode. This is actually a losing matchup here. And so I tried to catch a energy ball on my Munchlax, and we're able to successfully do it. It still does a lot of damage though. They're farming up a lot, and then they bring in a Wormadam. Okay. Gonna go for a Bulldoze here. Now, I'm wondering if they're thinking that they can farm me all the way down and then have all this energy loaded to dump onto my Gastrodon. So we'll see what happens. Able to get to another Bulldoze here. And we win switch advantage, which is really good for me because now I can bring out my Drapion onto this Electrode. This thing learns Wild Charge and Energy Ball and is a really solid pick in the Hisui Cup. I'm definitely going to be running a team featuring this Pokemon. I just need to build it. So they get both my shields, and then in the back is their own Gastrodon. So I'm going to throw 1 Aqua Tail here. I get a shield. And then I'm going to throw a Crunch and see what they want to do here. Our switch clocks are very desynced. Now, Water Pulse is a pretty bad move. Even though you get Stab, I'm pretty sure that Body Slam is a more energy efficient move. So I'm going to throw 1 Body Slam here. I need to be careful about getting hit from a Wild Charge by that Electrode on my Drapion, because that will definitely knock me out. I sneak that Mud Slap through, but this barely does not KO me, and it's going to give the Electrode even more farm, which is really bad for me. I need to get to this Aqua Tail. I'm 3 away, and we're able to get there and take the game. So catching that Energy Ball in the opening play and then flipping switch with Munchlax definitely allowed us to win the game there. Starraptor, Shadow Starraptor. Okay, my team is very weak to Shadow Starraptor, and my Munchlax is hard punished by this Lucario here. So it is not looking great. But I'm going to throw this Bulldoze, and most people will shield this because it will one-shot, but they give me switch advantage. That doesn't even do that much for me, because I'm kind of double weak to this thing. I will be able to get my Drapion aligned with this, but look at those gusts just absolutely chunking, and I timed my move pretty poorly here. They snuck in an extra gust, and then they catch an Aqua Tail on their Munchlax, and this is pretty much game over because I have no way of taking out that Starraptor. I have to build up enough energy and save a shield, knowing that Starraptor will win CMP, and I need to be able to hit a Body Slam onto that Starraptor. But this is tough because I have to respect these body slams as well. So I'm going to throw one body slam, and then I need to throw another. I cannot burn my second shield right here or it's game over. So down goes the Munchlax, out comes the Starraptor. They throw immediately. I know they have back-to-back, but if I go for a catch right there and they don't throw, then they just farm me down. But that definitely was my win condition. You saw them stop tapping though and wait for my fast move, so really well played by my opponent. And this team does not do well against Starraptor, that's for sure. Out comes a Gastrodon, and I am one turn ahead because they swapped. They still have that Toxicroak I'm going to have to deal with though. So I will swap into my Munchlax, and once again I want to be over farmed in this matchup. So when that Toxicroak inevitably comes back in, we have energy to threaten it with. Gonna throw Body Slam right here. And they end up shielding. That's totally fine by me. They're not going to be able to win switch advantage here, so I'm going to shield this. And out comes Toxicroak. I'm recognizing that I'm not going to be able to get to the Bulldoze, so I just throw this Body Slam here, but they're going to be switch locked. My Munchlax is gone, but I can farm down with my Gastrodon here. And hopefully Drapion will have some play in the back. We've already seen Toxicroak and we've seen their own Gastrodon, so Drapion should have some sort of a matchup in the back. It is their own Drapion. So we're even shields, even energy here. Do they have Aqua Tail? They do have Aqua Tail, so this is going to be a fairly even matchup here. But I'm thinking that my Gastrodon is just healthy enough that I can get like one Mud Slap worth of damage on the Drapion in the late game. So another Aqua Tail coming through. And I end up losing CMP there. So again, because of the more highly ranked PvP IVs, we end up losing CMP. Have to shield this obviously, and then I just need to land one Aqua Tail to put this thing into Mud Slap range. Now there is a case to be made. I could try to catch on the Gastrodon as well, but I just play it safe here. I force the CMP tie, and then most likely one Mud Slap from Gastrodon is able to knock out the Drapion, and we're able to take that game there. Good game. Gastrodon into Bastiodon. You love to see this, and then they swap in with their own Gastrodon. And so from previous matchups, I've learned that I can just throw one Body Slam here and then swap into my Munchlax to guarantee that I have switch advantage. Now, a lot of Gastrodons have been going for Earth Power here, and that's a really smart play because I'm pretty much never going to shield that first move. They get the defense fell on that first move, and this really makes me nervous here because if they shield and potentially go to the 2 shield, they might be able to win switch advantage. But they bring in the Bastiodon, they're going to get a farm, but I'm able to get to Bulldoze here. Going to hit for double super effective damage against this Bastiodon. And I wait out the switch clock fully because I know our clocks are out of sync. They have a Drifblim in the back. I switch as fast as possible here. And then once again, I need to be careful of how I'm timing my moves. So I throw one, and then I throw the Crunch in the middle of their Hex animation here. And I fortunately get the defense fell there, so the attack drop from Icy Wind is not as threatening. These Icy Winds are going to do the most damage, so I do end up shielding them. Gonna throw another Crunch, and then I should be one away from another Crunch. And we're able to get this Crunch off here. And then I anticipated them swapping right here, so I preemptively swap, but I catch it on Gastrodon. That's fine, it's just an Icy Wind. They're going to bring in Bastiodon, and whatever move they hit me with here will be resisted. It is a Stone Edge. That is the correct move to throw, even though it's resisted, because it does get stab damage. And we can go for the Water Pulse here, which will hit for super effective, but it's a pretty terrible move, and they were able to Mud Slap down the Drifblim there. Good game. Empoleon, pretty favorable for us because we are hitting for super effective damage, and Drapion needs to avoid this. They're staying in. They tried to catch a Body Slam on Frostlass, but I'm definitely never going to throw there immediately. I get a shield, and then I'm going to go in with my Drapion because I know one Crunch will be able to knock them out. And I have a shield advantage. I know that the Empoleon does have a Hydro Cannon stored, and it will win CMP. So we'll have to see how they want to play this here. They end up shielding. That's fine by me. And I cannot really overfarm too much in this matchup because I let them get a pretty significant energy advantage in the beginning here. So down goes the Frostlass. If they bring in the Empoleon, they have to throw fairly quickly, otherwise I will get to a crunch. So they throw immediately. They have no energy stored. Wait out the clock a little bit. And then I will end up bringing in Gastrodon once again. I know that they're not going to get to another Hydro Cannon. In the back is a Drifblim, and Munchlax is looking very good in this scenario here. The lick damage is hitting for super effective. All they can do is Icy Wind debuff me. But this is pretty favorable for Munchlax no matter what. And they don't have a move stored on their Empoleon. They're one away. They will win CMP, but as long as I can predict when they're going to swap, we're looking okay here. So I throw this Body Slam, and then I'm recognizing that the switch clock is going to be up here, so I can easily swap into my Gastrodon here. I predict the swap, my Mud Slap registers on their Empoleon, and then we're able to get to this Body Slam against their Drifblim and take this game there. Good game. Gastrodon, really solid in the lead right now. We have another Gastrodon mirror match. So again, I'm not running Earth Power, and sometimes my opponents will go for Earth Power in this opening play here. And it does hit for a lot of solid damage, but I typically just go straight Body Slam here. Even if they hit me with an Earth Power here, I do barely survive, which is what this Gastrodon does. That's fine by me. Getting a shield advantage in the lead here is going to be pretty nice. So I can safely bring in my Munchlax, and they immediately swap out at Drifblim. Or swap into Drifblim. So I'm wondering, is this like a double ghost team? Because blind swapping a Drifblim into a Munchlax is a pretty wild play. I will let this Icy Wind go through, and I want to overfarm a little bit on this Drifblim here. Gonna throw this Crunch. If this is double ghost, then we're looking pretty good here. They bring in the Gastrodon once again. I'm going to throw this Crunch. And they end up shielding, so I definitely should have went for Aqua Tail. But I'm going to be able to get an Aqua Tail off right here. And in the back is a Frostlass. I'm not able to get to a move, but we're looking pretty okay here. Just going to go for the Bulldoze. Munchlax up 2 shields. Is looking just fine. But this game was actually very scary because they have Crunch and they get the defense fell on the first Crunch. And now I'm getting really worried here. They throw another Crunch, another defense fell. So I just go for a Body Slam, trying to get any damage off on this Frostlass I can get, and then we're able to farm it down. A little scary there towards the end game, but we're able to win that. Good game. I think one more battle in this video. If you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to push for 50,000 subscribers before school starts up again. That'd be a really fun goal to hit. So really appreciate your subscription if you appreciate the content. So here we have Munchlax into Drapion, and this is what I was talking about, where the Lick users in the Zero Shield against these Dark Poison types can pretty much win switch advantage. I believe the matchup gets worse and worse the more shields you commit, because I'm going to throw this Body Slam, and then I'm recognizing that I'm just going to get severely outpaced here. So I'm just going to take my shield advantage and hope that this will be able to carry me through the end game. And I'm thinking, as long as there's not a Bastiodon in the back, this energy that I'm going to farm with Drapion should be able to go places. They throw a Crunch. What is in the back? Of course, it's a Bastiodon. So potentially should have fought for switch advantage, should have taken it to the 2 shield. Drapion, even though you're running Aqua Tail, is just really, really rough. And Gastrodon against a Cresselia, it really doesn't matter how many shields you have, because that Grass Knot is pretty much almost going to one-shot you, and you get outpaced severely. So this is a pretty unfortunate game where I did not fight hard enough for switch advantage. Potentially shielding the Gastrodon there might have given me a little bit more play, but Bastiodon in the back just absolutely shuts down this back line. So we're definitely going to lose this game. But this team worked out very, very well. I've had all positive sets with it so far. Let me know down in the comments what team you have been running in the Hisui Cup and some fun Pokemon in this cup. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content, and I will catch you all in the next video.